everyone. Welcome. We are so excited to get you guys all started. This is our journey kickoff, and this is primarily for clients starting the 5-in-1. We're going to go over all the do's and don'ts and how to get your journey started, what you're going to need. It's so important that after you watch this video, you connect with your coach for a pretty quick phone call where they can answer any questions that you may have. Each individual coach always has some amazing tips and tricks and things that they want to share with you. And, they want to hear from you and what you thought about, this video, and if you had any, questions pertaining to it. So we're going to get started. Just quickly, a couple things you may notice and need. The guide, if you're a returning client, might seem a little bit different. It's still the same content. They just moved a couple of the pages around. So we're going to point that out. If you don't have the brand new guide, you can download it or go, literally just go to Google and type in Optavia guide and it will pop up. You can print it, or you can even add a guide in with your next order. I think it's $1, so that you have the guide that we're going to go over today. So grab a pen. If you have that guide, grab that guide. A couple things you're going to need to start your journey. If you don't have a food scale, it's so important that you get one. Probably the most important part of the whole program is measuring your protein. So we're going to go over all that, but you can grab one from Amazon, super cheap. Obviously, you're going to want to scale to weigh yourself. You're going to want to take some before pictures of yourself, whether you choose to share them or not. This is your journey. But trust me, you will want to have them for yourself. You're going to see your body transform quickly, and you're going to want to look back and celebrate, that journey. Some other things, most of us have some measuring spoons. You're going to need, half cups and cups, and then you're going to need teaspoons and tablespoon measurings. So I think we're going to get started. This guy right here, I don't know if you guys can see my picture or not, but I'm holding up the life book that should have come in your box. You're going to need this. You're going to basically ask your coach when it's time. We want to get you into fat burn first, and then we're going to get you into that book. But dust it off, write your name inside, maybe look through it, get excited. This is a key element in this program, and it's really going to be what helps you transform.
Hey guys, so excited for you. Turn to page 22 in your guide. Like Michelle said, you can also get the PDF version online. The reason we go here, or maybe you just want to find another page with a little bit of space, is we're going to write the 6 key bullets of the program so that you have them in a space that you can reflect back on. They're really important, and so listen up close. So excited for you guys to get started or restarted. So like Michelle said, you want to make sure you take a before picture, usually the day before. You could also take some measurements. That's entirely up to you. It's just another great way to track your progress. You want to make sure you know your starting weight. Ignorance is not bliss here, guys. You have to know that number. So when you want to weigh yourself is the morning you're beginning, wake up, use the restroom, hop on that scale. You want to weigh yourself in that fashion every single time you do. Most of us weigh the first 1 through 4 days, and then day 7, and then once or twice a week, but really lock in with your coach and see what works best for you, for your motivation. All right, bullet number 1 is that you're gonna eat within 30 minutes of waking. Anything from that box, you guys, it's so exciting. Pick out something, get excited about it, and make sure you are eating, getting those blood sugars leveled within 30 minutes of waking. Then you're going to set 5 timers on your phone for every 2.5 hours. Don't worry, you have a little bit of wiggle room for life. You don't have to be a robot. So just make sure you're never going more than 3 hours without eating. Those timers are really key though, guys. So make sure you're setting them and really adhering to eating when they go off. The next is also really important. Make sure you're drinking roughly half your body weight in ounces of water each day. All right, so a tip, some people love water, they have no problem with this. To aid in digestion, what you can do is drink a full glass of water 30 minutes before you're supposed to eat. This is a pro tip, it helps with digestion, lock in, get that water in. You'll also see we wrote down something called the rubber band trick. This is old school, guys. Just put the number of rubber bands on your water bottle every time you finish that bottle, take a rubber band off. At the end of the day, you should have none left and you'll have met that water goal. It's so, so key. All right, bullet number 4 is that we do limit exercise, especially the first 2 weeks on the 5-in-1. Now, if you have a consistent exercise routine in play, talk to your coach about possibly limiting that or adjusting it so that you can make sure you're really focused on your goals. And for that 5-in-1, it's going to be really key. The next bullet is if you eat less, you will lose less. Sounds like it should be the opposite, right? But you really need to make sure you're getting all your components in the day for your body to get into that mild fat burning state. So if you're not hungry, which is actually one of those key benefits of our program, you still need those important nutrients in order for the program to work perfectly. So make sure you're getting in your 5 fuelings and your 1 full lean and green. The last is really just a description of your program. You're doing the 5-in-1. 5 stands for 5 fuelings, which is what they call the meals. 1 is that lean and green meal, which we're going to go over in depth in a minute. That's the meal you prepare yourself. That meal can be had at any point in the day as long as it's part of your timers. It does not have to just be dinner. The next piece is that lean and green can actually be split in half. It's such a big portion that some people really enjoy that. Or maybe on a Sunday, you want to have omelets with the family in the morning and dinner with the family at night. You absolutely can, but please guys, lock in with your coach with the how-tos on that. I'm so, so excited for you guys. Natalie's going to take it away and really dive into how to prepare that lean and green properly with the proper portions.
Hey guys, how are you? So this is our lean and green page, okay? So this is the one meal that you're responsible for cooking. And I call this the teachable moment, right? So this is where our healthy habits are starting in the kitchen. You're learning what your plate should look like, how many ounces of protein and vegetables our plate should have in that one sitting, right? So we're going to go through this in full detail. I do want to mention before we flip the page is that with each of our proteins, aside from the 5-ounce category, they get healthy fats, which we will review. Our healthy fats are vital, right? To absorb vitamins A, D, and K. It's vital for our gallbladder to function properly. So this is a non-negotiable, and healthy fats need to be added where they fit in. So let's flip the page and review that. Okay, so you're going to see 3 categories here: leanest, leaner, lean. Okay, so we're going to go through each one separately. So your first category is your leanest category. Okay, you get 7 ounces of cooked weight and you get 2 healthy fats. So just make sure you circle the number 2 at the top there. Super important. Let that stand out to you. And this is where you're going to find most of your seafood, like your whitefishes. You're going to find your ground turkey or other meat that's 98% lean. They did add turkey light meat to this category. And then there's also 2 egg options, okay? It's 2 cups of egg beaters or 14 egg whites. Just know that those 14 egg whites are equivalent to 2 cups of liquid egg whites. So you're not cracking 14 eggs. That's the last thing we want, okay? So just write 2 cups next to that. And then there's a few other meatless options, okay? So if you choose anything from this category, you're getting the 7 ounces cooked weight and 2 healthy fats. Your next category is your leaner category. So if you choose to have any protein from this category, you're getting 6 ounces cooked weight. Super important, okay? Cooked. Our protein is always measured cooked. And you're getting 1 healthy fat. So circle the number 1 at the top there. And this is where you're going to find, again, some more of your seafood, but it's a little bit fattier. You're going to find your grilled chicken here. You're going to find your ground turkey and other meats again, but these are 95 to 97% lean. Just make sure you are paying attention to that percentage lean on those meats because they will fall into different categories. I find that this is a little bit tricky for some, so it's super important to stay keyed into that. Okay, then you're also going to find your pork chops. There's an egg option here. It's 2 whole eggs and 4 egg whites. And then there's a few other meatless options for our vegetarians. Okay, so if you choose anything from here, you're getting the 6 ounces cooked weight and 1 healthy fat. And then your last category is your lean category. So if you choose to have anything from here, you're getting 5 ounces cooked weight and you're getting no healthy fat. So circle that no at the top. And this is super important, okay? We're not adding any fat to these proteins if you choose to have them because the fat is already in the meat, okay? So no healthy fat is added there. Make sure you star that. Okay, so this is where you're going to find your fattiest meats and your fattiest seafoods, like your salmon, your tuna, your steak, your lamb. Okay, all your fatty meats are going to be here. There's an egg option here. It's 3 whole eggs, but they do ask that you limit those 3 whole eggs if you choose to have them to only twice a week. And then there's a few other meatless options for our vegetarians. So if you're choosing anything from here, you're getting the 5 ounces and then no healthy fat. And then we are going to look at our healthy fats. So at the box at the very, very top, okay, goes over our healthy fat servings. So with our leanest category, you have to add 2 healthy fats to your meal. And with your leaner category, you have to add 1 healthy fat to your meal. So what's a healthy fat? So 1 teaspoon of any kind of oil is 1 serving of a healthy fat. Up to 2 tablespoons of a low carbohydrate salad dressing is considered 1 serving of a healthy fat. Now just write this down next to that box there where you have room. For a dressing to be compliant on program, the fat needs to be between 3 to 5 grams and the carbs need to be between 3 to 5 grams. Okay, so the fat and carbs need to be between 3 to 5 grams per serving. That being said, definitely lock in with your coach. I'm sure she has some amazing, he or she has some amazing recommendations as far as dressings. Bolthouse is probably one of them that she's going to mention to you, and she will thoroughly, or he will thoroughly review that with you. Okay, then there's also 5 to 10 black olives, 1.5 ounces of avocado, you know, and a few others. So just familiarize yourself with these, add them where you get them, don't add them where you don't get them. And for example, you're just going to have this page out when you're cooking dinner. And this is going to be, you know, your guide all the way through. And you're going to say to yourself, all right, what do I want to have for dinner tonight? Maybe you want to have shrimp. Okay. So you're going to go to your protein page. You're going to find where shrimp falls. You'll see that that falls in that leanest category. You're going to cook your shrimp. Then you're going to weigh it out to 7 ounces after it's cooked. And then you're going to add your 2 healthy fats. So maybe you use 1 teaspoon of olive oil to saute your shrimp as your 1 serving of a healthy fat. And then maybe you use 1.5 ounces of avocado to throw over your shrimp as your 2nd serving of a healthy fat. Okay, so that's your protein and your healthy fat. Now we have to add our vegetables. Okay, so your protein and your vegetable are always eaten together. It's one meal, they're never eaten separately. And you'll see there it says choose 3 servings from the green list below. So just star that or circle it. Okay, and it says 1 serving is equal to 1/2 cup of vegetables unless otherwise specified. So most servings of vegetables are 1/2 cup unless otherwise specified. As you'll see there, 1 cup would be, you know, your lettuce, your spinach raw, your spring mix, right? So there is some 1 cup servings, and then the rest are 1/2 cup servings, okay? Also, if it needs to be cooked before being measured in a measuring cup, it will specify. If it doesn't specify, it doesn't matter if it's cooked or raw when you are measuring it in the measuring cup. You know, and just for example, you know, back to that shrimp dinner, if you're having shrimp and you want to put that over salad, you're just going to come to this chart and find where lettuce falls. You'll see that lettuce is in that first box, okay? You're going to look to the left, you get 1 cup of lettuce. 1 cup is 1 serving. You still have 2 more servings. So say you want to add some tomatoes. So you come to the chart, you find where tomatoes is. That's actually at the bottom there. You look to the left, you get 1/2 cup for the tomatoes. That's your 2nd serving. You still have 1 more serving. So say you want to add some cucumber. You come to the chart, you find where cucumbers is. You look to the left, you get 1/2 cup for those as well. That's your 3rd serving. You can have all the same vegetables, all different vegetables. Doesn't matter how you work it, as long as it's 3 servings of vegetables. And then at the very, very bottom, it says note in very small writing. So if you need to grab your reading glasses, grab them because it's small. But In the second sentence, all the way to the right, it says such as carrots, corn, peas, potatoes, onion, edamame, and Brussels sprouts. Please just underline those because those are not allowed on program at any time during your fat loss phase, okay? And that's our lean and green meal.
Thank you, Natalie. That was awesome. Okay, so I'm just going to go over the optional snacks. Welcome, everybody. I'm so excited that you're back or you're starting your journey. So optional snacks, by now you heard that you're going to be eating 6 times per day and 5 times are going to be fueling and 1 time is going to be that lean green meal that Natalie just discussed. This is meant to be optional. It's meant to fit in 1 time per day if you need it. In the beginning stages, in your first 4 days when you're getting to fat burn, you may feel that you need to lean on it. After that, your body is physically stable. Your insulin levels are regulated, your mental clarity is starting, you're feeling amazing. So if you're finding yourself leaning on any of these optional snacks, the celery, the pickles or the almonds or anything like that, I encourage you to journal that a little bit. Just write it down, lock in with your coach, talk to them about what time you're feeling that you need to have this. Is there something that's going on around you that you feel that you do need to have it? And maybe you can start working on that behavioral piece with your coach, have that conversation and say, you know what, 11 o'clock is really stressful for me. So I find myself grabbing these almonds, but you know what, maybe I can switch up what I'm doing at 11 o'clock and not really feel that hunger. Your body is physically stable at that point. In those first 4 days, if you need to lean on this, you can. It's totally fine. You can totally have it. After that, definitely continue to journal it and use it as really a piece of learning for you, for your journey. That's really it for the optional snacks. I think I covered all that, right? Journaling? Yeah, that's really it. Optional snacks, optional, a little different than the healthy fat. Healthy fat, like Natalie discussed, is required for those 2 top boxes, but here it's just optional, as well as the condiments that Patty is going to discuss next.
Hey guys, I'm going to be talking about optional condiments. Thank you, Nicole. That was awesome about the snacks. As Nicole said, it says right there at the top, optional means if you don't need it, don't eat it, don't have it, right? It's not something that you have to have during this program, but this is the list that you're going to find where your different options for flavor and zest. Okay, this is where you're going to find what you can have in your coffee and what you can have in your lean and green. So I'm going to go through a couple of things here. The first thing that I want to mention is a condiment is no more than 1 gram of carbs per serving. And it says that right in that first paragraph. So I would underline that or circle it or star it. Okay. This is the list of condiments that you can have. This is in the guide. There is an expanded condiment list. What I usually tell all my clients in the beginning is the first 2 to 3 weeks, let's get things moving for you. Let's make sure you understand everything and stick to, if it's not in the guide, leave it to the side. Okay, that's what I say the first 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, but there is an expanded condiment list that gives you a lot more options. You can touch base with your coach on that and get more information on the expanded list. Okay, couple of things I wanted to point out here is that first example where it says ketchup, barbecue sauce, cocktail sauce. If you notice there, it says a half a teaspoon. Guys, a half a teaspoon. What are you going to do with a half a teaspoon of ketchup or barbecue sauce, right? So if you feel like you cannot stick to that measurement, cross it out, okay? It's really hard to have a half a teaspoon of ketchup or barbecue sauce, okay? The other thing that I wanted to point out here is the last thing on that list. If you guys are coffee drinkers like me, you can have 1 cup of unsweetened original or unsweetened vanilla almond or cashew milk, okay? A cup. You would be surprised. When I started this program, I had so much sweetener and sugar in my coffee that I actually really started to enjoy a black cup of coffee or just a coffee with some almond milk. So you would be surprised. Your taste buds change. You know, the other thing that changed for me is a piece of salmon, okay? You would be surprised at how flavorful a piece of salmon is with no condiments on it. It is so delicious. And that changed for me as well. So you'd be surprised. So I just wanted to go through some of these, things on the condiment list for you guys. I think that's it. This is page 22, I think, in your guide. The last thing that I wanted to point out is you can only have 3 condiment servings per day. Okay. Stick to these measurements, stick to that because you would be surprised. a little too much salt or sweetener can throw you off. And you're putting in the time, you're putting in the energy for this program. Stick to this list. Okay, reference this page, talk to your coach, touch base on this. Okay, so no more than 3 condiments per day. And remember, it says right at the top of the page, optional. Optional means if you don't need it, don't use it. I have a lot of clients that don't even touch this page. Okay, so I think Zena is next.
Thank you, Patty. That was awesome. And what cute little catchphrases. If it's not in the guide, push it to the side, okay? If you don't need it, don't eat it. I love it. So where do you put your daily routine? On page 32, this is going to be your journal, okay? And this journal is going to be used to where you write down everything that you put into your body to fuel yourself throughout the day. Especially within that first week, you're really going to link arms with your coach, and you're going to walk side by side and get yourself into a really awesome fat burn. And you're going to be so thrilled because you're going to be watching that scale go down, and you're going to be feeling more energy and better sleep. So how do we use this weekly journal? I always tell my clients to start out by putting your starting weight, okay? And what you're going to do is every day, you're going to put the times of when you're eating. So right where it says fuelings, all right, you see that you have a spot for 5 fuelings. Because the fuelings are all interchangeable, you could just put the times of when you're eating your fuelings. But when it comes to that lean and green meal, it's really important, just like it was stated with Natalie, to really put those measurements down, okay? If you're having grilled chicken and broccoli and olive oil, we want you to put in there 6 ounces of grilled chicken. We want you to put 1.5 cups of broccoli, and we want you to put 1 teaspoon of olive oil. Even if you're using flavorings like Patty mentioned, okay? Write down the measurements of those optional condiments because you don't want to exceed 3. And then down here for the 6 steps for success, you see that you have your water chart. You're just going to check off those awesome little watermarks to make sure that you're getting in the proper amount of ounces, which is half your weight, and use that rubber band trick. What I love about this page too is I always tell my clients to put in when they wake up and when they go to bed. So I add those times to the top and the bottom because healthy sleep is a healthy habit that we need to address. So here, especially on your first week, and because you're linked with your coach, you want to make sure on the bottom of this page, what are some of your goals? You know, what are some things that you'd like to accomplish? And you want to just jot those down so you and your coach can discuss those and you guys can come up with an amazing plan to make that happen. And then also save this guide that we just went through, save it on your phone. Or if you can't find the PDF file, just take a quick picture on your phone, pages 18 to 22. That way, when you go to the supermarket and the store, you have a quick reference sheet so you can set yourself up for success. And you have it in your cell phone. So I wish you nothing the best of luck. Selena, I know you're wrapping us up, and good luck, everybody.
Zena, that was so awesome. I love all those tips. You guys, we really do see a direct correlation with people who are successful on plan and people who lean into this journal and goal set with their coaches. So you're almost ready to get started or restarted with your journey. The final, most important step is to lock in with your coach. Those goals that you wrote down, share them with your coach, dream together, make that 2-minute call, those first 4 days a priority in your schedule. You deserve this. You guys are ready. You're ready to take control heading into the new year. And we are all here for you as your coach community and family. We are so excited to lock arms and have the best year yet.